Mystery of Vitania, Karina Eventrud. Karina, a name that was once prophesied to greatness. Her name, a blessing for the people. A name that would be registered in the story of humanity as the strongest sorcerer of all time. Her birth was felt in the world. The trees moved in joy due to her presence finally settling around. Birds chanting the come of a new era where the night would finally bend their knees. The rivers flowed intensely, and the light that was becoming dim around the entirety of the territory of Vitania finally found a candlelight that would never fade away. A highborn from the house of Eventrud, a house in charge of their own realm and kingdom, were proud of their genes, finally managing to conceive the strongest mage. From the very beginning, Karina outclassed each one of the children who sought to learn the capabilities of magic in their earnest. The expectations were high to her, and at the age of 12 she already had graduated as an honorary mage. With such high standards, how would she not be considered the strongest sorcerer around the world? Someone that could perhaps even rival the image of the High Priestess of the Night. Karina Eventrud's name was imprinted not only in their kingdom, but also their vicinities, which looked with envy at the image that would be engraved in Vitania the coming years. However, she was still young. She needed not only to learn from academics, but also from life. Her arrogance that was present since young was her flaw, and was something that led to a disaster the first moment that she was part of her mission in storming one of the wild monsters that were corrupted using the power of darkness. The ones of her group had found were special. The witches had created a trap which lured them to a monster's den. Every one of her companions found the situation strange but decided to proceed due to her willingness to clear the mission, to prove her worth in her younger days. The group was wiped, leaving her as the only remaining force. Injured, with her clothes drenched in the blood of beasts that poured down one after another. She could have saved her friends, companions that had stood alongside her since she was young. She found that she still lacked. The power couldn't fully protect someone when the time was darkest. She had to be wise, but that took a long time to process. How would she be able to process something she didn't really understand? A woman who could hold the world in her hands finally found something where she lacked. It took years of perfectionism to be crushed in an instant due to her greed. Her ambitions to show off what she was made of, only to be stomped against reality. Karina Eventrud tasted defeat for the first time the harshest way possible. However, like a flower that was torn off, she would be able to bloom. She felt the winter due to her actions and took measures to be able to secure her future. She faced reprimands from higher-ups and even her family. Her friend's life lingered over her tips, a memory imprinted in her heart that wouldn't ever wash away. Karina began to bloom, just as she was becoming a great woman in physique and now in mentality. She had to let go of her arrogance, or at least take care of those she thought would ever be with her side forever. After years had passed, she had managed to solve most of their flaws, although arrogance lingered in her personality still due to her noble blood running through her veins. Karina had managed to become master of the tower in the span of a few years, propelling her image around the world in a considerable manner. She is now called the Empress, although her mother is the real image behind Eventrud.